In the context of talking about accounting and information systems, it's important not to just understand really what they do functionally, but also to think through why is it that we deploy them in the first place? And really the answer is pretty simple. It's to deal with information and process information, report on information, and how to use that information effectively. That in itself is what creates or constitutes an area called information management. That area is getting a whole lot more emphasis in the media these days. There's certainly a lot of attention on it, and professionally there's quite a few thought leadership processes going on around information management. And what I'd like to do is take that term that's being used and kind of boil it down to what it means. And what it really means is we're essentially trying to provide users of information what they need to manage the business. That simple. Why do people need that? Well, often they need information to make decisions, right? Measure results, plan for the future, and very importantly, and this is an area where financial planning and analysis comes into play, is how do we measure something so that we can determine if we're on track with our strategic plan objectives? The CFO or the CGMA in a business would theoretically be required to know, we're kind of going in this direction as a company. We want to make sure we're going to get there. How do we make sure? And I need to help come up with ways to measure and provide data, information back to the sponsors or subject matter area people or business process owners of how are we doing towards that particular objective. So what does information management involve though? Well, that sounds very ethereal at the top. Now we're going to dig in. What it really means is making sure you have systems that can deliver reliable information. What's reliable information? Well, reliable information can essentially be defined as data that came from a system that is providing process integrity around what it's supposed to process for you so that the results of that system are giving you information that is reliable, and it has to be timely. Okay? Information needs to be timely, provided to the right people at the right time, and as our profession understands, it's got to be based on systems that have provided all that information and all these processes through sound internal controls and internal control objectives. So what is it that information management involves? It's actually a whole lot of theory, but I'm going to break it down as best I can. It really comes down to providing reliable information, timely to the right people at the in the right way to make decisions with, and coming from systems that provide particularly strong internal controls. Let's go back though to reliable. Reliable is an important thing. Reliable, as we all know as accountants, there's a whole lot of thinking about what does reliability mean. But really this comes down to, is the information that we're going to get with which we're going to make our decisions coming from something that we can trust? So systems typically are looked to, accounting systems, ERP systems, and all the other ones we could think of, frankly, with all their acronyms. It comes down to, is it processing the information that we put in as inputs in a way that we expect the outputs to be of a certain manner? Okay, so if we did something like process an accounts payable voucher for $1,000, well, it better be that we end up having a voucher recorded in the accounts payable module for $1,000, and we're going to cut a check for $1,000, not $10,000. So something reliable, as again, a basic example, but if I'm making decisions, I want to make sure I'm making decisions based on things that I can trust and really not just take for granted, frankly, that are being done in such a way that I just assume the system's doing what it's supposed to do. So again, reliable information delivered timely, meaning when I need it, okay, in a manner that makes me able to make some decisions. And again, back to focusing on, am I making my progress towards systems and strategic objectives?